This is Things You Might Have Heard, and I am Jay Cleveland Payne. I'm going to present for you in a few moments yesterday's latest in politics, information, current events, and pop culture news as your go-to supplemental source for both mainstream and unconventional news. I can tell you today's news is very much very unconventional. Top two stories go there, and we'll do our best to do it without bidding the big O E rating today. Beyond the fact that there was Monday Night Football and Monday Night Raw, my eyes were kind of taking over stuff, but I'm pretty sure that Anderson Cooper and Rachel Maddow didn't cover some of these stories yet today. So you get a chance to get into the stories that were conversational per you. We put them in there and you said, oh yeah, we're talking about these, and we will. We also will talk about, as our teaser graphic says, Miss America, or I'm sorry, Miss USA. Don't get them twisted because there's a difference and it's back. Let's get into the news headlines for today. Remember, go to our main website, which is conversationproject.com for more details behind the scenes on what we do every single day to give you news headlines and get you in the conversation. Today, of course, is September the 12th, 2023, Tuesday on the date. First story for this morning, headline reads like this. And we're going there really, really early. Redlands Unified School District to pay $2.25 million to settle suit involving teacher who had student's baby. We're not going deep into all of that stuff, but here's the deal. A California school district is paying $2.25 million to settle a lawsuit for a teacher who became pregnant after having intercourse with one of her students. The same teacher back in 2001 had another former student sue her for sexual abuse at Redlands High School, again, where she actually admitted to having sex with youth about 10 to 15 times. So, yeah, we're not going to go into deep detail on this one. Check the link in our description and you can go as much detail as you want to. There are various ways to take this. The only way to take it that really makes any sense is that this woman is a bad person. A person who's not maybe so much a bad person, but made very, very, very poor judgment and may cost her a job is a candidate in a high-stakes Virginia election who was caught performing sex acts with her husband in live videos because they're into that. Women running for office in Virginia had sex with her husband, not a bad thing, in live videos posted on pornographic websites and asked viewers to pay them money to carry out specific sex acts. Not a great thing. Her campaign called the exposure of the videos the worst gutter politics, because essentially it is bad politics to expose those pictures. The revelation marked an explosive turn in a contest that will carry significant weight in determining basically the balance of power in the Virginia General Assembly. There's a big deal going on in Virginia, and people are running for a couple of big spots. This is a big spot that will take a lot of toll to who is basically running the states. With screenshots of Susan Gibson on her website shared with the Associated Press this week, there is proof that this stuff happened. Gibson said the exposing of these videos is an illegal invasion of her privacy, which is true. Violation of Virginia's revenge porn law, probably true. Bad politics, definitely. Is it legal? We shall see. She's running against businessman David Owen, who is right now saying, Susanna's got a lot of problems, a lot of issues. I'm just going to run my election race as there. It's there. The account on various websites here, particularly on Chatterbait, because it had to be, is out there, and it's been it's been everywhere. It's everywhere. So if you are into this type of stuff, whether it's the political stuff or the other stuff, this is a racy story that will get you there. Check the link for more descriptions and do your own research, because we are so done with this one. We're not done with Michael Irvin. We have him to kick around again because he has returned to NFL Network, settling the $100 million lawsuit with Marriott after the misconduct allegations. It is that simple. He returns just in time for Monday Night Football and the loss of Aaron Rodgers in the biggest game of the season so far. Well, maybe the upset of the Kansas City Chiefs is the big one. This one, the debut of Aaron Rodgers, which is a story in its own, and we'll talk about that in a bit, derailed. But the story we're talking specifically, Irvin filed a $1 million lawsuit, $100 million lawsuit against Marriott and 6 other for defamation and torturous interference in a business relationship. With that all said and done, he is back on TV, being off for quite some time. Although he spent a little time with Stephen A. for a little bit while he was suspended by NFL Network, back at his old big-time job with the desk with a bunch of folks talking in circles and mumbling at each other. I say it a lot because it's basically what the show is. Oh, by the way, people got a chance to see in the big cities Aaron Rodgers go down early last night because Disney and Charter made a distribution deal that put Disney's channels, including the Disney Channel and, of course, ABC and ESPN, on the TV in various cities. So right in time for the big game, it's happened. They've been off since about August 31st as companies fail to reach an agreement. It happens all the time these days, especially in the streaming world where you can get things other ways. One more reason to keep your cable is because it's supposedly a stable system. In this case, Charter and Disney did not make it happen. A lot more times with the satellite folks, but this is a real cable company, if you will, that could not make the deal happen until yesterday, and then just in time to watch a very good football game, but not exactly the way it was played out as expected. We will get back to that. This is a story that's been brewing for a while, but we're just now actually popping up there as, oddly enough, it's still garnering weight as something that seems like it's new. Oprah Winfrey and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson slammed for asking working class Americans to donate to Maui fire after combined $10 million donations. The Rock and Oprah gave $10 million to the folks in Hawaii. Oprah lives there, and The Rock has family there, so he lives there. And they gave big money, and then they offered up a chance for people to donate to help the Maui citizens. This is actually based off of the People's Fund, an act of charity that Dolly Parton actually has done to raise awareness and financial givings to people in need in various places. So it's not a thing that they just kind of threw up and say, hey, we're just going to ask people for money. There's actually precedent for this. Dolly would not have gotten the hate. I think the hate is essentially because of who they are. And we can say that going deeper into this one. Because everybody loves Dolly Parton, when she does that, it's kind of sweet. The other rich folks, maybe not so sweet. But this is a story that's been going on since the Maui fires. This fund began about 3 or 4 days after the fire was out and people had a chance to see the devastation. So this is an old story. We're just now getting to it because a news outlet just now got to it. So we still have it there. Let's continue in Hawaii. Speaking of Hawaii, what they're really more famous for is Hawaii's volcanoes. And Kilauea, Hawaii's most active volcano, is erupting again. The most active volcano has erupted for a second time in 3 months, happening Sunday afternoon, about 4 p.m. in the afternoon. More or less safe, but it erupted last June. An observatory has been keeping an eye on it to make sure that nothing serious happens. We are definitely keeping an eye on that one. A volcano eruption on top of a big fire sounds like a lot of things happening for Hawaii. It is a lot. But like you say, we are keeping an eye on that one. Hopefully that won't be much more than a spectacle. That's why people go to Hawaii, to see the volcanoes, and not a real danger to any life. We've had a lot of bad things in the headlines for today. This one is a stupid bad thing. DraftKings apologizes for sports betting offering referencing 9/11 terror attacks. DraftKings offered up a parlay yesterday. Essentially, if the New York teams won, extra money. Not a good look, not a good sound, not good for 9/11. And DraftKings had to offer an apology for the 9/11 theme promotion to celebrate New York and their teams because it's just really stupid. How do big companies make such stupid decisions? Because there are people behind them that don't think about anything but the money, and they thought it'd be a great cash grab for people who don't pay attention and get sucked in by the 9/11 sort of memorabilia. The thought memories on that one just sucked them in. It didn't work out very well, and not working out was great for me as I watched my stock price for DraftKings go down over the day because of this thing here. After being down for a while and coming back up, that is my disclosure, is I'm losing money off DraftKings being stupid. So I'm making it back up by talking about DraftKings being stupid, which will probably lose me more money. And finally, there she is, Miss USA. The Miss USA pageant will air live again on the CW after being off TV for about a decade. It has been all over the place. NBC had it for a bit. Fox ran it for a while. And now Miss USA, not Miss America, will be back on the television screens once again in the CW. CW, with its new sort of branding, its new sort of life, if you will, being not exactly the place for young, up-and-coming teen-type dramas that apparently nobody watches, except for me. CW is branding itself with golf. It's got football. It's got USA Pageant. It's bringing down things like Unsolved Mysteries, shows like that. So the CW is trying to meet up to what its actual ratings, what his actual book says it reaches to older women and bringing things for that. Although I'm not sure they're all that down with football and golf, but apparently that's what it is. Although my grandma loves her some Alabama, so there you go. Let's get to our teaser story for this morning. First, apologies, errors, and omissions. Very quickly, we are not covering McDonald's, who are phasing out self-serve soda stations. Very, very soon, in the next couple months, you won't get a chance to go and get your own soda over and over again. The people behind the counter will have to serve your soda for you. Check that out. That's becoming a thing for many reasons. You can check out why and give us some comments on that story as you go to that one. That's one we did not have space for. Of the 8 we had, that one, it was a very popular one, not quite in the range today, so you can check it out on your own. Now, let's get to the teaser story for this morning. This story has a chance of living and talking about tomorrow, though I doubt it because the news will be over, but you guys may still be chipping up this one as well. The headline is pretty simple. It's about Aaron Rodgers. We talked about him twice already, so we want to get the official headline because it didn't post it till late in the morning, so it didn't get any love for this morning's actual headlines. The fact that he went out in his first drive, 4 plays in, and he goes down, and the Jets' hopes and dreams may be down. They won the game last night, and they may do fine going overall, but the luster of Aaron Rodgers being like Broadway Joe coming in and bringing them a Super Bowl from out of nowhere doesn't look so good right now. Can we talk about this story tomorrow? Can we talk for a minute or for a day? You let us know by going to our feeds on Facebook and X, or Twitter, I'm going to still call it that. On the X and Twitter, it is th_conversation. On Facebook, look for This is the Conversation Project. And every 50 minutes, unless we miss a spot, we post a news story from various sources. That's why we say we're supplemental. We go from all over the place. And if you think the story is engaging, such as the very, very, very odd ones we had this morning, you engage in it. Those stories are going to be very big this weekend, I can guarantee you. And I thought they were just throwaways that might get some attention, but they got a lot of attention. Check out this story or more stories as we post them every 50 minutes, and give us the best like, love, hate shares. The higher engagement we get, we'll give to you tomorrow for Wednesday. 8 stories from the top 15 stories of that morning of the day. So check it out on your own at our feeds on Facebook and Twitter and vote them up for us. Now let's talk about our sponsor we're spotlighting for this morning. That happens to be PS Print, which I actually have used yesterday. PS Print is getting me out of a jam as we needed some promotional items, and someone who was basically last minute trying to figure out what to do, and we pulled up PS Print and found the things we wanted to do for our upcoming seminar that we were just kind of scratching our heads on. PS Print is your next superb way of finding promotional items, plus business cards and stickers and all sorts of things that you could use for promotions or just for around the office. Check them out. Don't take my word for it. Check out us at our affiliate link and find out for yourself just how valuable PS Print can be for you. This is a conversationproject.com/PSPrint. This is a conversationproject.com/PSPrint. Much slower because I'm told I rambled this one too fast. This is the conversationproject.com/PSPrint, and you can be the hero of your office today. So the Conversation Project lives at this is a conversationproject.com. It is our home online where we do this for love and enjoyment. I do this as just kind of scratch an itch because, I did news and of sports, entertainment, and real news for a long time. And this is a way for me to still do that, still be involved. And because the news I tend to consume tends to not be as great. So I do my best to reach out for the best stuff I can and allow you the chance to help me pick out those stories. You help me pick them out by going to the feeds. We say that all the time. We also want you to help us talk about things, to improve things, by emailing us at theconversationinbox@gmail.com. If you like what we're doing, check out our sponsors, keep us on the air, and go to our partnerships page and see if there's a way to keep us on the air. We thank you in advance for all the help you want to give us. The most important things and the most things that are free is the feeds and the emails. Send us emails for feedback and go to the feeds. Tell us what to talk about every single day. And now, it is time for the second show, the fun stuff. The fun stuff for this morning begins right now. And we always begin the fun stuff every single weekday morning with birthdays, and September the 12th is no exception. Happy birthday to Louis C.K., who's 56 years old. Now, he's been in a bit of water that has been lukewarm and maybe hot at times for things he has said and many things he has done, but we're going to celebrate him anyway. 56 years old on the day. Still a funny guy, working his way, doing the rehab of comedy right now. Also, Benjamin McKenzie, 45 years old today, actor on a whole bunch of things. You probably know his face from something, and doing a lot of things behind the scenes. He does documentaries. He's writing movies about the stock markets. He's done an expose about Bitcoin and things like that. Very, very, very interesting guy, detailed guy. 45 years old on the day for him. Happy birthday to the Queen and one of my future ex-wives. This is J. Hud herself, Jennifer Hudson. Beautiful, lovely, dynamic. 42 years old on the day. Today's history lesson, going back in time, on this 12th of September, starting off in 1953. Massachusetts Senator John F. Kennedy married Jacqueline Lee Bouvier in Newport, Rhode Island, beginning as more or less the Camelot years of the Kennedys. Beautiful day on that one. On this day, in 2001, President George W. Bush labeled the previous day's terrorist attacks the acts of war and asked Congress for $20 billion to rebuild and recover. And also on this day, in 2013, NASA's Voyager 1 space probe made history by advancing past the solar system, becoming the first man-made object to reach interstellar space. Big things on the day, of course. It's going to be a couple days as we commemorate what happened for September 11, as these things, even though 22 years have passed, still more or less fresh. As we discussed today in the history lesson, still more or less fresh, as opposed to things such as Pearl Harbor Day, which is at this point about 80 years ago. So as things remain fresh, we have the slogan, never forget, because we have to remember. It's one of those things that has great meaning for us in these times. Celebrating on today, the 12th of September, is Ants on a Log Day. It's simple. It's celery. It's peanut butter. It's raisins. Ants on a log. I don't like the raisins, so I will skip them, and I always will skip them, pull them off and go, ew. But ants on a log is a staple for kids. At least it was for kids. I don't think my kid does ants on a log. She likes extra processed stuff and gummy bears and Takis and things like that, because the kids these days don't just understand the greatness of ants on a log. By the way, because of the way it sounds, we have another earworm for you, Pumps in a Bump by Hammer, which is basically the song and the video that destroyed his career. Go look it up, keep that in your ears all day today, and thank me or hate me all day long for that one. Pumps in a bump, pumps in a bump. We want the girls with pumps in a bump. Yeah, that's it. We complain about Beyonce. That's what he gave us back in 94. 94, I'm sorry. So, one more thing you might not have heard. Your tummy may bulge and your hair may turn gray, but one good thing that doesn't fade with age is your sense of humor. Good thing, too. It helps that you can laugh when your body starts to sag in places you never knew were so sensitive to gravity. That's a joke. A study by the Baycrest Center of Geriatric Care in Toronto showed that our appreciation for humor doesn't necessarily fade with age, although our ability to understand complex forms of humor might as our mental abilities decline. We still enjoy a good laugh when we get the joke. And that is the joke. And we're done for the day. We're wrapping this thing up in record time, and we're going to just take that win. My name is Jay Cleveland Payne, and this has been Things You Might Not Have Heard for this day. The day happened to be Tuesday, September the 12th, 2023. Thank you so much for being with us on the show, helping us do the things every single weekday morning. If you want to help us out even more, the biggest thing you do is follow us on our feeds on Facebook and Twitter, and that means you're telling us the words to talk about every single day for the show and for the weekend shows as well. You can also go to our email and email us with conversational type things we can do to fix it, because I'm pretty sure we messed something up. So we'll try to fix it. That is the conversation inbox at gmail.com. Stop by our partnerships page if you also deem us worthy of that sort of help as well. We're going to wrap it out in record time, I guess. Remind you to stay limber, stay hydrated, and on task for all the grand things you are on this world to do for all of us. We need you here. We need you here tomorrow, because we don't know what the news will be tomorrow, because you haven't told us yet. So tell me what we're talking about tomorrow, and we'll do it live at 5:50 a.m. Central Time, and of course record it beyond that on video and audio throughout that. So have a great Tuesday, and we'll see you for what we're going to call it ahead of time. Great Wednesday to come.